Days before Pride Month, 6 people were tragically killed by a woman pretending to be a man at a Christian school in Nashville. Shortly after that, another horrific statement was made by a woman pretending to have a conscience, also in Nashville. Here's Kamala Harris extolling the virtues of killing your unborn baby.
So the district court in the abortion medication decision came down today. I haven't read it yet, so I'm going to do an analysis of it. But as a general matter, I'll say that there is no question that the president and I are going to stand with the women of America and do everything we can to ensure that women have the ability to make decisions about their health care, their reproductive health care, in a manner that is what they need, and they decide that, not their government.
God love her. If the left has a liturgy, it's my body, my choice. The unthinking mantra possesses all the same vigor and mindless adherence of a Jonestown believer. Forget that the body in your body isn't your body and follow me here. If the body in your body was your body, when you ended the life of that body, the woman would die also with the baby. But because the body of that baby isn't your body, it's not just a choice, and all of you who are on the pro-choice side are freaking liars. If you really require logic and reason, you won't find it in feminism. You won't find it in the kind of feminism that Kamala Harris gives here, or that you find in the Barbie movie, by the way. You'll only find a trail of babies. Here's one of the clearest ads I've ever seen pointing out the fact that the ideology of abortion makes totally no sense. Thanks, feminism.
Human rights. You may think you've always had yours, but you would be wrong. So how did you get your human rights? From the magical birth canal, of course. Disclaimer. Birth canal is not the size of an actual birth canal. Just saying. Before the baby or fetus is born, it is not a human being. Clearly. But as it passes through the birth canal, something amazing happens that transforms it into a person with human rights. Observe. Not a person, not a person, not a person. Coming out the other end, a person! Human rights! Congratulations. You now have value. Can't say the same for this one. So what exactly happens in the birth canal that causes this magical transformation? No one knows. But popular scientific theories include fairies, aliens, or of course, a mini Big Bang. I think it's fairies. No human rights? Human rights. No human rights? Human rights. Makes sense. Thanks, magical birth canal. Science, logic, magic, human rights.
Now, I posted this video on social media, and it is truly epic. And pro-lifers are doing a much better job at satirizing obvious lies and ridiculous notions that have been promoted in the culture for far too long who needed this kind of treatment. So pro-lifers are doing a better job of that. But of course, after posting this, some of my great, admiring fans had some things to say in the comments section about this video that has blown up since. One of them said this: the United States Constitution clearly states you do not have rights in the United States until you're born into the United States and or become a legal citizen through a test. It's literally written in law for hundreds of years, okay? Literally. It's literally written in laws for hundreds of years. Really, is it? By the way, there are other ways to become a legal citizen in Joe Biden's regime other than just through a test. You can also just grab a bunch of fentanyl, a couple human slaves, and just walk right in if you wish. But literally written in law for hundreds of years, huh? Now, I can only assume here, since the vast majority of what was just said was nothing but a screed and illogical, but I'm going to try to give this person the benefit of the doubt here, because there's probably other people who think just like this person, that you don't get human rights until you come out of the magical birth canal. Come on, man. You're not allowed any rights. Now, forget about the fact that, like, the deer who's killed in off season that is also pregnant, that you are charged with 2 counts of violating, hunting during the off season. Forget the fact that you can't kill a mother that's pregnant with your child because you didn't want to have the baby, or else you get 2 manslaughter charges. Forget any of that nonsense. And here we have the brilliant, effervescent belief that I'm assuming the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution all clearly states you don't get any of these rights until you're born. You hear me, babies? Now, let me just give you a for instance of why this is so ridiculous. The Declaration starts with this kind of ironic statement, don't you think? We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain and unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, anyone? So actually murdering a baby isn't included in the Declaration of Independence, sorry. And maybe the Constitution. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America. Establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility. Now, who of you thinks that abortion does any of that? How about common defense? I would think that perhaps abortion might actually be something that you need to defend against, since that vacuum does suck out your spinal cord. Unfortunately, our Declaration and our Constitution does protect babies in the womb or out of it. It wasn't until feminism came along that we started making that distinction. Even if it didn't, who cares? Logic, common sense, and reason all confer rights upon a baby. It is feminism that has brought this distinction about in utero and ex utero. For that, I give you Mr. Tim Pool. Once again, ladies and gentlemen.
Does it have personhood?
It's human rights, not personhood rights.
So
Yes.
is it a human? Well, I look at a zygote
Yes.
and I can't determine. You cannot determine from another animal zygote.
Well, you can actually. Maybe on the naked eye, looking at it's too small to see. So in that sense, you can't. But as biologists know, how do you know what something is? You look at the parents. So a single cell embryo has a human mother and a human father. A single cell elephant embryo has an elephant mother and an elephant father. So we know it's a human.
That's just
doesn't
deductive
matter.
reasoning.
No, this question is nonsensical. Whether or not you can recognize what something is doesn't change what it is. I can't tell if it's gold or pyrite. Doesn't change it from gold or pyrite. If there is a human life and you're like, well, I can't tell if it's human or not, that's like saying someone who's got a disfigurement may not be human.
It doesn't matter if you call it a fetus or you call it a baby. The moment new DNA is formed, guess what that is? A new life form. I know you don't like science and the experts until you're trying to force experimental COVID vaccines in people's arms. But if you actually care to pay attention, then when that new DNA is formed, means that it has the right to be protected and it has the right to live without you stepping in just simply because you have a college career to think about. So here's where I have to speak to you soccer moms and more broadly other Christians that are sitting on the sidelines. This is much like what I talked about last Tuesday with Jordan Peterson, but I see it more and more and more. And it's actually kind of burdening to me to see so many non-Christians speak up as a Christian should while Christians sit on the sidelines. So yes, Tim Pool is not even a Christian. How can he stand up for the unborn more than us? It's time for us to take our faith out of the esoteric and into the real world. What are we going to do to take a stand for life? What are you doing to push against the ideology of the culture of death? What can you do, even if you're not speaking out presently, to gain the confidence to speak out? If you're not using your social media right now to do it, then I don't care how many pictures of your kids you post, you don't defend life. And I don't care how much you would say that you're pro-life. If you do not take the time to actually protect those who need your help right now, then it's hard to say that you're anything other than somebody who is pontificating and navel-gazing. I hope we can all see by now that feminism has been a net evil for the world, and whenever Christians truly take a stand, it is a net good for the world. I know there's been bumps and bruises along the way, and people who were supposedly Christians in the Crusades and all of that stuff didn't do such a great job of ensuring our reputation moving forward. But by and large, that is a blip in history compared to what Christians have done throughout history who have taken the time to actually stand up for what's right. If there is an ideology right now in the present, and that's why I single out you soccer moms, because you are the ones who have the most influence against it. If there is an ideology in the present that needs to be resisted, it is feminism. Don't just take your kids glibly to Barbie and then post it on social media. You've done a disservice to your kids and to the rest of the world. Actually inform yourself about what feminism is, and then do the best you can to push against it with the righteous truth of God's word. As you do so, you'll be contradicting Kamala Harris and all the other lies that have cost the lives of so many other unborn babies. Now, if that was helpful to you, I'd love to hear from you down in the comments section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and to go with God. So you just got done watching a small excerpt of a much larger episode. You can find the link to that full episode down below in the description of this video. So you definitely want to check that out, because if you like that clip, you'll like the much larger episode. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and click that little bell to be notified when great new episodes of Indie Thinker come your way. Thanks for watching.